Creativity is grabbing attention and making a connection in an incredibly small amount of time. As human beings, we have to create the copy lines, we have to create the sentiment, we've got to create the visual aspects. Enemy of creative is budgets and timelines, right? There's always a restriction on the amount of time that the creative team has. There's a commercial reality to it. At some point, communications, brand communications have to get out into the world. Creativity and automation, two concepts that are usually thought of as being quite antagonistic, which I think is a shame because automation can actually empower creativity. We don't have to be restricted by things we do for economic reasons. We wouldn't get designers to create endless variations just so that we could look at them and see which one we preferred, but content automation can do that. The machine doesn't really cost anything to produce them. The creatives can review them like a lightbox session and decide which ones they prefer. I'm not suggesting that we shouldn't adapt content, but if machines can make the adaptations and run different copy variations, image variations, super quick, exponentially more creativity will come out of that. You know, the worst job in the world for any designer is to basically cut and paste content into a design. And I think automation is absolutely brilliant at doing that mundane, boring, repetitive task. When a human being does an operation, there's usually time associated with that operation and there's a cost associated with the time. Make sure that, you know, the majority of what creative people are doing is origination. In terms of creativity and measuring creativity, especially in advertising, the creative is the biggest lever towards success. 2024 is when Google, if they don't move the deadline again, is when Google is going to move the third-party data. And then we're in relatively unknown territory, and that's going to be the challenge. I think we're going to get back to creativity being the biggest influencer in terms of success and performance. At the same time, you know, it's really hard for creative teams to create huge volumes of content that is of high quality. What you're going to begin to see without automation is probably because of all of the social media platforms, all the paid media platforms, what you're going to begin to see is the quality of the content go down if automation isn't able to pick up the slack. You know, it's an idea, it's a concept, and it's going to get better and better. And eventually, we'll be able to do amazing things in conjunction with purely bespoke, complex creative. And I think that's the area that we're going to move into.
This is only the beginning.
When machines get an understanding of sentiment, then we're going to get into a really exciting world. Go back to the definition of automation. The definition of automation is machine-driven processing of data or content. You think about the level and the amount of content that can be created by the machine and presented back to the creative. Why would we not think that's a good thing?